Yo, what up, what up, what up?
Oh my goodness! Shouts out to the lab. Is that where we are?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. It's
I ain't
June. It's the
mad.
start of the summer.
Yes, sir.
Is it
Hey, it's
summer for you
hot
out there
too.
on the West Coast?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's warm in California. Right. We had already had our first 105, 107-degree day. So I'm staying in the house. I'm staying inside, brother.
It's been raining, scattered showers, but yesterday,
Okay.
last week it was pretty. It was pretty nice.
All right. All right.
But we haven't hit
See,
that.
but you got humidity though. See, that's
Yeah,
what you
hot
got
Atlanta.
over there on. Yes, sir. By definition.
Right. So it's been an interesting week. We were off last week.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. on your side had a birthday, and you wanted to take a little quick moment to
Yeah.
celebrate. And I guess
I didn't want to
we
get in
figured,
trouble. I didn't want to get locked out of the house, right? So I had to make sure that my attention was focused on the missus. So again,
understood,
that's
understood.
that's what we do.
Okay, well, I see
What
you got a
about you, brother?
T-shirt. What you have going on over
Oh,
there?
no, what this is? This is another one. Preston So shouts out to them. More action, less hashtags.
Okay,
Uh-oh. Yeah. So
I
I'm
don't know
trying
if
to
you
make a
saw it,
statement now.
but I've been talking about it. I think I'm probably the first one in Atlanta to get it.
I may
Came.
want to get one of those.
My mama's cooking. So if you know anything about
Uh,
Kwame Brown or anything about what's been going on in the YouTube world and the sports media world, somebody been getting cooked every day.
yeah,
So
man,
I
I
had to
may have to
support
get
the
one
cause.
of them. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I just had to, make sure that we support the guy and let him know that we understand the cause and he's
Hmm.
respected.
Hmm.
And I got to get some of your gear before the end of the summer as well. So
Yeah, look, we about to come out with this summertime release. So we're working on designs right now. So we gonna have some new updated things. I'm gonna keep the prices the same. We gonna make sure they're affordable for everyone. So and that's not what it's about. Trying to make a whole bunch of cash. It's about just representing and supporting communities. So yeah, we got like I said, the summer lineup coming out in a couple of weeks.
okay, that's what's up. All right, so you about ready to go ahead and start this thing off? We didn't talk behind the scenes of where we wanted to go, but we had no. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, but hey, Sammy, what's going on? Hope all is well. We didn't talk about where we wanted to go or how we were going to do it, but let's see what we can do. Do you want to start with Instagram or do you want to start with Amazon? Which one you want to do?
Let's start with Instagram, right? Let's start with that one, right? And have a conversation about that because that probably is a question that's resonating with folks. So I'm actually glad you brought that story up.
Instagram. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Let me see where we at over here. So Instagram. Let's see if I can find it over here. Instagram is basically telling people how you can what's the wording how you can determine or they're showing or trying to explain to us how you decide or how they decide what you see on your actual feed. So
Hmm.
it's quite an interesting story, and I don't really think that it really broke it down, but let's see what it is. The Instagram chief Adam Mosseri. Are you have you ever heard of him before in the
I
tech
have,
world?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
He
hope I
came
said
from
it.
Facebook, so yeah,
He came from Facebook. Okay, so
yeah.
Instagram chief Adam Mosseri, he basically said he was going to shed some light on how social network decides what you see in your new blog post. Well, he said it in a new blog post, should I say? The short answer to how Instagram works is that it's complicated. Instagram users thousands of signals, so we're going to remember that word signals to determine what you see in your feed. Um, and there isn't just one algorithm that decides what shows up for you. The company is also committed to better explaining why content is taken down and how the service services posts. One of the more surprising revelations, most Instagram followers won't see your post anyway because most people look at less than half of their feed. What do you think of that? Do you think that's really the case?
I can guarantee you that folks are scrolling and they only go look as much time as people spend on these social networks. True, they are not looking at uh, anything near a high quantity or a high number of content that's on their feed. It's very conscious how the feeds are stacked, and I think that's what well, I know that's what Instagram was trying to tell folks, right? It's a lot of AI, artificial intelligence, a lot of algorithms, a lot of trying to gauge what it is that they think that you like based on what you've looked at in the past and putting that stuff up front. So that's kind of where the conversation was going within the blog post that Mosseri was writing.
Hmm. All right. Well, basically, in his first blog, Mosseri explained that Instagram uses a variety of algorithms, classifiers, and processes, each with its own purpose to determine what to show you. Um,
Hmm.
then Mosseri then broke down the signals Instagram uses to surface something in your feed or in stories. And these are basically the most important signals, roughly in order of importance. So let me see if I can bring this down to where the audience can watch and see what this is. Information about the post. These are signals both about how popular a post is, think how many people have liked it, the more mundane information about the content itself, like when it was posted, how long it is, if it's a video, and what location, if any, was attached to it. Second, information about the person who posted it. This helps us get a sense for how interesting the person might be to you and includes signals like how many times people have interacted with that person in the past few weeks, your
Hmm.
activity. This helps you, what helps them understand what you might be interested in and includes signals such as how many posts you liked. And lastly, your history of interacting with someone, which gives a sense of how interested you are generally in seeing a post from a particular person. An example is whether or not you comment on each other's posts.
I would have put that at number one because, well, I would have put that at number two, and one that's not even listed, to be honest with you, is scroll time. So there is intelligence built into these social networks to how long you stay on a particular image, video, or whatever the case may be. How many seconds that you actually watch a video, how long you actually look at a picture and things of that. So all that data, again, all of that artificial intelligence, all of that analytics is captured. And if they think that, well, you know what, you like pictures of people, I don't know, in the streets or whatever the case may be, you're going to start seeing some more world star type, more type of content on your social feed at the top instead of at the bottom or as you continue to scroll. So all of that stuff is built into an intelligent means of populating your feed, your stream. It's not random, folks. You really need to understand that. And here again, always go on tangents, right? Remember, Instagram is owned by Facebook. Facebook has darn near everybody on the planet within their system. We're not paying for that. So the way that we are paying for that is they data mine all of your information. So every time you search for something on Instagram and you flip over to Facebook, you're going to see ads or posts or groups and pages in your right sidebar that are related to the types of things that you're spending the most of your time on Instagram and vice versa. So both of those two sites are going to be very similar in terms of the look and feel that you get in your feed. Keep in mind, again, we're not physically paying for these services. So how do they make money in ads? Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook and Instagram are selling all of this information to large organizations that are buying space on those platforms. So as you start searching other locations on the internet, you're going to start seeing very similar types of things. You think that the internet's following you, and the internet is following you, right? Because they're tracking your information as you go to each and every single social site, but each and every um, news site, whatever the case may be. Just consciously keep a look at that, right? Think about the stuff that you like and that you um, uh, put a comment on, or you heart, or you say I care, all those emojis on these social sites, and then go over to something like a CNN or a Fox or a CBS or whatever, and just look at what's happening in that right sidebar. Guarantee you it's very similar type of content, and it's quick too. It didn't take a long time for this data to travel digitally. So I just like folks to be cognizant of that. So I'm really glad you brought this story up, man, because I don't think people really understand that nothing is sacred once you put yourself out there on the internet. It's neither here nor there. It's pros and cons, right? It's not good or it's not bad, but just be aware that once you out there, you out there.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at it like you said, most of this of what you're saying is true, and I just think it's one of those things where you just have to be careful. Um, it, Following up with the with the article, it said Instagram will then predict how you might interact with the post, such as commenting or liking it, and then the more likely you are to take an action, the more heavily we weigh that action, and the higher up you'll see the post.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
seeing I hear a little static in my ear from listening to the feed, and I don't know what it is, so I probably will be limited in what I say. I don't know why. I'm going to try and disconnect the audio while you're talking and then resume, because I don't know. I haven't done anything with this microphone in 2 weeks, so Instagram, basically the Instagram guys is like, we're not supposed to be talking about this article. So
yeah, that's pretty much what it is, right? They came for us. We didn't mess around and said the magic word, and they didn't put somebody on us. But so also keep in mind, I think part of that article was as well, when you go into the Reels piece, right, of Instagram, typically what you'll see in the Reels section of Instagram is content that you don't follow, content that you haven't subscribed to, and people that you don't know. But the company is making assumptions and trying to promote a different context, a different type of information to you. So as you probably go through your reels, you probably look at, I don't know these people that are showing up in here doing dances and things like that. So keep that in mind.
yeah, that's what it is with that article. You can hear me
Hmm.
loud and clear right over here, right?
Yeah, actually, you came through very clear, but right now I hear me. So I'm so I'm echoed coming from your side.
So you're now coming in echo. You said you're
Yeah,
coming in echo.
I yeah, I hear my voice, which I shouldn't.
Okay, so now I'm clear, and now you're echo. I can't win for losing. All right, so let me go into the next article, and then I'm gonna see if I can do the next. Let me see if I can take the audio back out, and then we'll figure it out. This is live streaming at its finest. You would have thought we would have figured this out 3
Love
months
it.
by now.
Right.
But I mean, I got it working for me, but now you're now echoed, and I don't think I muted in the headphones, so maybe that might have been what it was. So might be something simple. We wanted to talk a little bit about Amazon Sidewalk. This is something that
Mm.
has picked up some steam over the last couple of days, because yesterday Amazon basically said that if you own a certain set of devices, it was automatically going to be enabled onto your phone. And so let me see if I can get that article for us real quick. Amazon Sidewalk. There we go. What is Amazon Sidewalk and how do you disable it? So basically, Amazon activated a feature by default as of yesterday, June 8th, on a number of its devices. It turns most Amazon Echo smart speakers and smart displays made after 2018, plus a few Ring by Amazon smart doorbells and cameras, into a Sidewalk bridge or gateway. Specifically, the following devices are compatible. And let me see if I can find this here, and I can let you guys see it on the screen what those devices are. You have the Ring Floodlight Cam, the Spotlight Cam Wired, the Spotlight Cam Mount, Echo third generation and newer, Echo Dot, the Echo Dot for kids, Echo Dot with clock, Echo Plus, Echo Show, Echo Spot, the Studio, and what were the other ones? Input and Flex. So basically, if you have one of these devices, and this is why I always say I don't want this stuff in my house. Uh, this is why I say I don't want it in my house, because they're paying attention, and now what it's basically saying is, now that you have this, they're now saying that you can now tap into your internet in your house, and if somebody is walking down the street and they have an AirTag, or if they have one of these devices, people are now able to use your internet connection up to 500 megabytes. I think that was the limit that you could use. But you're, whether you have a security lock on it or not, because you have one of these devices, you're automatically giving your internet connection to somebody else. What do you think about that, James?
Man, this is crazy talk. And let me see. Let me turn something down. Yeah, I still got echo.
You still
I'm
got
gonna
it?
drive myself crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me 1 second. Stand by. Let's see what we
All
got
right.
here. He said he still has echo. So let me take my audio out again. All right, let's see what we have now. Hopefully do you hear an echo? I don't know if you have an echo over on your end, James?
Check 1 2 1 2. No echo for me, sir.
Okay, let's just see what that sounds like.
Cool. So you were asking me about Sidewalk, right? Sidewalk is on by default.
It's bad. I can hear it in the. I can hear. I'm listening. You sound good now, and I sound bad when I switch to settings. I don't know. I mean, it's Go XLR. I haven't touched anything.
Gremlins in the system, brother. Gremlins, I don't know.
Go
I don't know.
ahead. You talk. Tell them about
All right.
Sidewalk. I'm gonna try and change it. Switch another setting while we do that.
Do that. So keep in mind, folks, that this is on by default with these devices. And this is something that we have talked about in the past about privacy. I think we've even had this conversation before it was launched, the Sidewalk functionality. And essentially, it's a wide mesh network. So think about when you go to Micro Center, you go to Best Buy, and you go to the aisle and you say, you know what, I need better coverage of internet in my house. I hear me all over the place right now. So you buy a whole bunch of components. You buy repeaters and transmitters and put all over your house to extend your wireless network and your wireless reach. Think about that now. Your internet that you're paying for now being focused on people outside of your home. So yeah, they're only talking about a 500 megabyte limit, but the goal of Sidewalk is to be that friendly neighbor and allow folks that are walking by and for folks next door, down the street, around the corner who have very similar types of devices, Amazon Echo devices, to be able to connect should the owner's house be having a internet connection problem. So if my neighbor next door, if next door is having problems, he's close enough that he can literally attach to my internet and still allow his ring lights, his echoes, his smart door locks, and his alarms and things of that nature to still work. So he's pulling off of my network. I have a problem with that. Only the main reason I have a problem with that is for what we do, what Tallboy and I do, right? Content creators, video content creators, every ounce of bandwidth and internet throughput is necessary because we're streaming in 4K. We're trying to get these cameras right. We're trying to get these microphones right. All these individual pieces right now. Imagine if there were 5 houses next to me that were pulling pieces of my overall bandwidth. So my neighbors' lights in their landscape could be on without a problem. So I have a problem with that. I also have a problem that it's on by default because the common person, the majority of people are not going to go into the settings on their Alexa app and say, you know what, I want to opt out of this and actually turn this off. Why? Because one, they're not going to, they don't know how to find it, and they're just going to leave it on and have in a large mesh network pulling off of each other. Yeah, it's not a lot of data, it's not a lot of throughput, but this just begs the question again. We've had conversations about law enforcement tying into some of the cameras that are attached to people's homes, and without the owner's knowledge, actually looking at that footage. Yeah, they're helping to solve crimes or whatever, but still, there's a privacy line that gets crossed when you start opening up something that you're paying for, your own private property, to the neighborhood and to the community, irregardless of who it is, even if it's for good, even if it's a good Samaritan thing, right? I want my neighbors to all their stuff to work, but let me opt in to this before you actually turn this on by default. So the challenge is, I don't even think this is going to be contended in court or anywhere like that. This is just going to happen. They're turning it on now. I believe it's actually available. Amazon is today switching on Sidewalk, so it's already on low bandwidth network. Aims to keep compatible devices connected. Everyone who has an Echo right now has this service turned on. You didn't even get a notification on your Echo saying that, you know what, Sidewalk is now turned on. It just came on without any knowledge to you. There's the problem that I have with this. So I turned mine off, but again, I think folks need to be just cognizant and aware. That's why we're having a discussion. So just keep in mind that if you've got any Ring Light, Echo Dot, Echo Show, it is now transmitting. It is now allowing capability for your neighbors to connect to your network without your knowledge.
Well, you can opt out, and if you have one of these devices, it's pretty simple. You just need to just go to the Alexa mobile app, go into settings,
Yeah.
account settings, and then select Amazon Sidewalk, and then go to disable, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, but again, the problem is that we're hearing about this because we know about this, right?
Right.
This isn't something that Amazon actually sent a email to everyone who owns these devices, or even the thing is listened to us all the time anyway. It could have had an announcement saying that, you know what, you have a service update that you need to pay attention to. There should have been something on this device that's looking at me right now that should have said, you know what, I'm now giving your internet to all the neighbors that walk by and to the folks that live around you.
Well, I'm pretty
I
sure
don't know like that.
we're going to talk about this later on today, but you got to remember, you're paying for Echo. You paid for it, but the service is free. So it has something. Since you're getting the service for free. You're not paying a $19.99 or a $5.99 or
Yeah.
you're not paying a fee for it. So you're paying for something, and you're giving up your freedom because
Like we always say, nothing's free.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
nothing's free. I mean, and my thing is, like you said, because we're techies, we know about it. If you watch the news, they may have talked about it on your local news station, but it wasn't like it was heavily talked about like they promote Amazon Prime Day on the 21st and the 22nd. So,
Right.
I mean, the good thing is we have the Lab Tech Show, and you can watch, and we're telling you all about it. And, if you're interested in allowing air tags and your neighbors or somebody just walking down the street to be able to use, I think they call it BLE, not necessarily GSM.
Yes, Bluetooth.
Yeah, the Bluetooth. If you're not necessarily wanting them to have it, you can opt out. And it just, I don't think it's really going to hurt because I don't. I mean, really, when you think about it, and I get what you're saying, most people are not hackers. It's just that 1% that
That's all you
are the
need, boy.
hackers
That's
that
all
will
you
come
need.
into your network, even though it's blocked because you Amazon Sidewalk gave you this.
Yeah. That's all you need. It used to be called war driving, right? And I used to do it, right? I'd have my laptop in my car, and I'd drive up and down the street looking for open wireless networks to see if I can get into them. I wouldn't do anything,
Malicious.
illegal, or anything malicious or anything like that. But I would just see if I could get into them and access the network. And a majority of the time, it was easy to get into people's organizations, businesses, wireless networks before they started using WEP and WPA and things of that nature. So I'm just an amateur at that stuff. Folks that do this on a regular basis now, folks. Look, so listen, folks. Let's go ahead and get focused here. Everyone's starting to hear about things that I talk about on a day-to-day basis from a business side. You're hearing about ransomware. You're hearing about cyber attacks. Folks on the East Coast, y'all lost access to your petrol, right? Couldn't get gas. Why? Ransomware attack. Big meat processing plant, one of the biggest meat processing plants in the, I believe, even in the country, was just put into a ransom attack. I think I just got a notice that they actually had to pay the folks that broke in so they can get access back to their system. So these are the things that now, right, that right, I'm not blowing it out of proportion, but these are the kinds of things that can lead to ramifications of opening up networks and allowing other people besides you, if you don't have the controls, to lock it down. So when organizations start opening up access, yeah, again, it may be for common good. It may be nice that you can be good to your neighborhood and allow folks to, again, have their lights and their cameras and their stuff on if they're having issues with their network. But keep in mind, that's how this stuff happens. That's how folks used to dial into your modem, old school modems, and your old school routers, right? Before you started locking those down. That's how folks used to access the cable boxes, right? Again, look, we can go back into all the malicious activities that can happen very easily, and being able to enter to someone's network. You guys saw the stories a few years ago. There were some hackers that attached themselves to some people's baby cams in people's houses, right? And we're sending racist messages to some kids because some hackers were able to access the network, able to access the device, able to see inside the house and be able to talk to people's houses. That's where my concern is about all of this. The fact that it's already opted in and you haven't turned it off, and it's not turned off before it actually get access to it. That's kind of where my problem is.
Well, like I said, I just look at it to your point earlier, 5, 10 years ago when the internet was not necessarily new, but it was, not everyone had internet. And like you said, we would just drive around. I don't know the terminology that you said, drive around war or something.
War
Um,
driving.
War driving. I was just looking at it just so I can get on the internet so I can do my
Yeah.
homework assignment, we were innocent. But now we
Yeah.
live in a society where, like you said, the hackers are tapping in, and if they can use your internet to be able to do whatever they do. But like I said, what's the
Right.
percentage of that happening? Now you just have to just take you just have to just take that chance.
You do, and be vigilant, folks. That's why we're breaking this story down and talking about it so much. And y'all know me; I go on my rants, but it's for the common good. Just be aware. So I think my dad is watching. You have a Google Home, and that's not part of this, right? So it's all the Amazon Alexa Echo. I'm trying to talk low because I don't want it to kick off over here. I'm talking right into the mic,
Well,
so it
see
doesn't.
that now. See, everybody was saying that Corey, my audio was low, and I didn't want everybody hearing what I was saying, so I'm gonna just let you have that one right there. So,
Lord.
um, All right, so
I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done.
it's all good. So
Hey, at least I already did my my stash stock investment.
yeah,
So
you
I
know,
took care
look,
I took
look,
care of
look,
that in
look.
time.
You already had a comment on that stash stock. I was waiting for you to talk about it, and I'm trying to see where that comment was. Where is it at? I'm trying to see if I can find it. Let me see.
People know where my people at.
There we go. There they go.
Love it. Today was Home Depot and Lowe's. Oh, see,
Man,
there she go. Yep. Man, we
already
trying
on
to
it.
get this money. Hey, we trying to get this money. Home Depot and Lowe's too?
Yeah,
Man, you
that's
better
two
get
good
that.
companies. Look, before the end of the summer, I'm going to take a crash course on how to do these stash parties, and we're all going to be
Yeah,
enjoying this.
yeah.
So, all right. So, Apple,
What's wrong,
Apple,
brother? You
Apple.
act like you
That's
about to
all
take.
I could
I know
say.
what's wrong.
I don't really want to do this, but I mean, I know you're gonna have a field day with this, and I'm just gonna let you have it, man. I mean, it is what it is. They have this thing
I
called
tell you what.
W.
No, no, no. Hold on, because I can see it's weighing heavy on your heart right now. I'm gonna pivot, and we're gonna do a commercial right now.
Oh,
Let's give a shout out to no. Let's give a shout out to the ticker that you got running down at the bottom, and let's go ahead and talk about the what we got coming next week. We're gonna do a quick commercial, a little pivot. I'm gonna ease you into this.
oh, you're gonna save me for about 30
I'm gonna s-
seconds.
I'm gonna save you from yourself.
All right. Next Wednesday, June 16th, 2021. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We will have a special guest. He's a tech enthusiast. He's a drone lover. He is a great guy that I'm pretty sure that you will love to talk tech with. He's all Ecamm and Apple, so I guess this is a perfect segue for what we're
I
about to
set
go
you up.
into now.
No, I
But
set
we'll
you up. I'm
have
just letting you know.
Hurricane Dave Smith here. He's a brother, and he knows his stuff. So I'm looking forward to having him on the show next Wednesday. And I think, you know, a brother from like you out there on the West Coast, I guess I get
Yeah,
tag teamed again. I got to find some Android guys that like to talk tech, man. I'm over here hurting, you know.
you
But
are. You are.
he knows how to get into topics. He knows how to get out the topics. You know, he's not going to be one of those ones that's going, you know what we've had in the past where you know they
Yeah.
were,
Pray for him.
they,
Pray
they
for
they
him.
don't really want to talk tech, but they are techies. He is a tech guy, and he's all about getting in on time and getting out. You know, getting on the, let's talk on the subject, and you got a hard 7, you got a hard 9, and we out of there. So I'm looking
Done.
forward to seeing Hurricane Dave next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I should have shared this stream with him, but hopefully you guys won't beat me up as we use vMix next week.
Yeah, tell them.
I had
We're using vMix right now too. So you behind the controls right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm making it work. So I had a little technical issues, but I think I'm back to normal. My man,
Yeah.
Mommy Guide Incorporated. I'm trying to find out who that is. Um, she says good evening to you all, and then also Rich
Appreciate you.
Vibes over there in live streaming friends all the way in the UK. I think the
What's up, Rich?
country, the UK, just opened up. If not, then I think it opens up next week. So shout out to them because
Cool.
they'll be able to go out and start doing normal activities that they haven't been able to do in over a year. So he's also a DJ. So, his money has been impacted. And, we want him to, be able to do something that he loves to do and also still make his money. So Rich Vibes, Paul Weber, and all my friends over there in the UK, thank you guys for watching. And keep it moving, man. So,
There you go. There you go. See, I try to give you just some time to exhale, breathe a little bit, maybe go get you some Minute Maid. But we about to get
right
into
on
this Apple
time.
thing.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
we gonna get into this Apple. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get into it. I got a lot of echo coming from your side. Turn the monitors down, brother. Turn the monitors down.
Now, see,
Mm. You don't need
I
to
was
hear
able to
me.
get my microphone
This is for
right,
the
and,
This
and
is
here
for the
you go
people.
messing with me.
Yeah, you don't need to hear me. This is for the people. You hear me all the time, just ranting and raving. All
Hold
right,
on. She
go
said,
and bring the story.
"Oh, she's from the Philippines." Okay, that's what's up. And then Rich Vibe says the June 21st is not confirmed yet, though.
Okay,
All right, so let's keep our prayers over there for the people over there in the UK. And
definitely.
and then he said the president Boris may delay it. So,
Man,
well,
like that.
yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So, all right, man. I really don't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you do your whole rant. Um,
You
let me
no,
just.
it's gonna be short. No, so let's go. So let me go and put it this way, folks. Apple this week is having their WWDC Worldwide Developers Conference, virtual
Hold up,
again
you
this
didn't even let me
year,
step it up. I mean, you didn't even let me set it up.
because you are already trifling, right? You
No,
come in
I'm trying.
without proper energy.
I'm just
Go
trying
ahead,
to
brother.
set it because I wanted
It's
to
like
pose a question.
okay,
In all seriousness, I wanted to pose a
yeah,
question. Even though I don't like Apple and I don't care for Apple, I think they got some cool things every now and then. But
all right,
I gotta let it. We gotta set it up the right way. If we're gonna do it, we gotta do it right.
go, brother.
There's a conference, and we all know about conferences here in the United States. People, whatever your thing may be, whether it's tech, consumer tech, whether it's music, whether it's healthcare, there's always some type of conference that's going on. But they have this conference called WWDC. And James is going to explain to the audience what WWDC is because this is something very important. He is also a member of this conference here, WWDC, a Worldwide Developers Conference. I would like to say that's what it is, but he's going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to set it up for him, and he's going to tell us what the importance of WWDC is, what I think it's a 4-day event, but he'll tell us how long it is. So who, what, when, where, and why is what we're looking for, James. I know I'm butchering this up for you, but I just need you to set the audience up, and let them know what it is and why it's so important and why they should care about what WWDC is all about. If you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I do apologize that I messed it up, but I do know that you love this conference just as much as you love CES and you love South by Southwest. So, without further ado, I'm going to just let you have it, my brother. You do you.
Like how you, I like how you put your Don Lemon on right there, right? Try to get look all sexy in the camera and everything. WWDC, yeah, is the Worldwide Developers Conference. It is open to only developers of applications within the Apple's iOS store. Happens every year. This year, like last year, again, it was virtual. It lasts for the whole week, so Monday through Friday, but Monday is always the primary keynote, talking about what's next from a software perspective. So this is not a consumer focused event, right? So don't expect new iPhones, new laptops, new tablets, or anything of that nature. But a lot of people seem to want that to happen, but that's not what the focus of this is. This is about how Apple is enabling developers to create applications within the App Store and how they're going to get paid for it, how they can more easily develop applications for the iOS platform and things of that nature. So this year's keynote was more consumer focused as opposed to enterprise, just because again it was remote. Apple actually opened it up free to everyone. Typically, it was $1,500 to attend this conference. I've been there for a number of years. I've got my cool black jacket with like 5 years of attendance on it. So look, I've been in the game for a minute with these folks. What resonates though with consumers and users of iPad OS, Mac OS, and iOS is I'm a dial it down to three things. There were a lot of things that were announced, but there were three things that I think resonate with the lab's audience. Open source ability. You got some music playing in the background. Is that on purpose?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Open source ability for iOS and Android to actually communicate via FaceTime. So one of the things that I actually tested today with Tallboy was I did a FaceTime call. I sent him a link through FaceTime and connected to him on his Android phone, and we actually did a face-to-face conversation in iOS FaceTime. That had never been capable. We could have never done that before, but now you can do that. So it's cross-platform between the two major mobile operating systems and being able to communicate. That's pretty huge, right? Apple has always been kind of stingy. Think about iMessages, right? Our messaging platform on the iPhones. When you're communicating back and forth with someone that has an iPhone, it's blue. When you're communicating with someone who's not on an iPhone, it comes off green. So I mean, there's kind of that whole separation too. But I think all of that is going to be changing now because now again, it's cross-platform with the messaging, iMessages, and FaceTime. The second big thing that really came out of this, in my opinion, is something called universal control. Universal control allows you, if you have a desktop, if you have an iPad, if you have a MacBook Pro, so if you have a desktop, a tablet, and a laptop, you can literally have one keyboard, video, and mouse for all of those items, right? So I can use the same keyboard and the same mouse, and I can literally drag my mouse from my desktop screen, drag it to my iPad, drag it to my laptop. I can also move files back and forth between those three different devices. So think the old OLE, object linking and embedding, that Microsoft brought us with right with Word and Excel. Now you can actually have. Thank you for turning off that echo, brother, because I was going crazy listening hearing myself. So now you can actually move files back and forth between multiple devices, right? So if I'm working on a document in pages, or if I'm working on a spreadsheet in numbers or anything like that, I can move that from my laptop to my desktop, move it to my phone. I can move it to my tablet, whatever the case may be, again, with the same keyboard and same mouse. It's pretty cool, right? Eliminating a whole lot of stuff on your desk. You can collaborate and have the continuity between all of those multiple devices. The third thing that I think really resonates with this audience is advancements in the Apple Wallet. This is going to be pretty huge. Apple has announced in partnership, and the first partnership that they're really talking about is with the TSA. The plan is to have digital identification cards. Your card. So your driver's license that you carry around in your wallet, right? Actually scan that in and have a digital copy of that within your Apple Wallet. And everyone who has an iPhone knows what the Apple Wallet is. So because you've already got all of your hotel points and you've already got some credit cards, you already got some other stuff, but now you can actually have a authentic thing. Yeah, thank you for putting that on the screen. You can actually have your digital version of your driver's license stored in your iPhone, in your digital wallet. That's pretty cool. And like I said, the first organization they're partnering with is the TSA. So you can't get on a plane without your passport, without your ID. Right now, a lot of us flash our phone with our boarding pass. You can also now flash your phone, and it has a digital rendition of your state issued driver's license. So that's really cool. Apple has always tried to be forward thinking and cognizant about privacy. So I'm not going to cut them any slack. I think they still have a lot to do in terms of making sure that this really works, and to make sure this is secure and that this doesn't get used by anybody. We keep using the word malicious tonight and for any malicious reasons. So that still has to be fleshed out. I'm running the developer's version on all of my devices. So my desktop, my tablet, my phone, and my laptop. It blew up my desktop the other night because literally when they put it in the repository, I downloaded it and some of my systems were not ready and I had to rebuild my machine. So again, don't do the cowboy coding that I do and try to do these things ahead of time. So I'm glad that the public doesn't have access to developers editions before they're ready. I see the question here asking when is it coming? So there will be a public beta coming out next month. And typically, the public betas of these operating systems from Apple are 80% fleshed out, right? So you can do the majority of what you're trying to do. The majority of the bugs are worked out, and if and it's open for the public, and then you can probably put it on one of your production machines, but still just be cognizant that it may not fully work. The plan is by the end of August, early August and September for the actual release to come out, iOS 15. So there's a ton of other things that came out, but I really think that those three things, the FaceTime being multi-platform, sending messages to Android users, things of that nature is a huge. The universal control, eliminating a lot of keyboard, video, and mouse types of needs, eliminating a lot of cords from your desk, and the digital wallet functionality is big as well. You know, some other stuff came out. I ran into this issue with my son the other day, trying to find his AirPods. Right. If I took a camera upstairs and we looked at Isaiah's room, there would be clothes stacked up about 3 feet high. The kid lost one of his AirPods. Now coming into iOS 15 is updates in the Find Me capability. So you can actually send a beacon notification to the AirPods that they can beep if you lose them. And that'll help you find it. And actually will show on a map as actually, as you're walking, as you're getting closer to them, it'll actually start pulsating on the screen. And it'll also be sending out a notification. So things like that. I did a stream yesterday talking about everything that Apple did announce, and it was an hour and a half that we talked about it. So I'm not gonna put you guys down that path. But I always say that Apple tries to give us things that we don't need before we need them. Or we need before we need them, right? We didn't think we wanted or cared about not having the headphone jack.
All right.
Now no new phone has a headphone jack. So those are the three things that I wanted to get on, brother. I just I'll take your commentary and your insight if you got questions about it.
Let's just be honest.
First of all, you got to admit the fact that I called you from my phone and we were able to collaborate and communicate cross-platform today. That had never been able to happen.
So when I read that article, I thought it was pretty cool because one, I don't have to necessarily download an app. So you literally are sending me a link from your phone, and it's no different from what I do with the software that I use to stream with vMix. No different from the software that you use with Ecamm. No different from Zoom. No different from what you see with StreamYard or any other platforms when you bring guests in, shall we say. So I think a lot of these companies have already been doing it. The one thing I will always give credit for to Apple is they may not be first. You know, I'm a first generation. I gotta have it. You know, whoop, whoop, whoop. That's just me. But you guys take whatever it may be, and then you guys turn around and say, how do we perfect it? And what I mean by that is Apple has always had FaceTime. That was the selling feature of an Apple or iOS phone. That and the security feature. So with that being said, you're now able to send me a link and I can have my phone and I can not only watch the show with you, have a conversation with you, but one of the cool features is if you have Spotify, I don't know if you can do it with any of the other music devices. I don't know if you can do it with
Apple
YouTube
Music
videos or Apple Music. That's what it is, Apple Music. You can actually
right now it's Apple Music and Spotify.
Apple Music and Spotify. You can actually listen to the music at the same time, and you guys can say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" So just think about the music artists. Think about the DJs that have maybe Android or and iOS is cross-platform. You can now be able to listen to music, get an honest review, from that perspective. But then what about the holidays? Think about that. So now I don't have to necessarily have the iPhone. You could just send me your link and we're good. Now, you could do this on Facebook Messenger. You can do this on Instagram, Messenger.
True.
But it's kind of cool that you can already do this, or that you can do it from your Apple, from your iOS device. So I
Yeah.
give you credit for that. We did test it out today, and like I said, we were experiencing some problems in the beginning, but then I think once you figured out what you did wrong,
Yeah.
it was seamless. And
Yeah.
all I did was click on your link, type in my name, and I was there. Simple.
It's only going
So,
to get better. So it's
uh,
only been out for 24 hours, so it's only going to get better. Like again, and I'm not sugarcoating or anything. There are a handful of things that were nice about the what's coming for folks,
Thank you,
but
Rich. I appreciate this.
Apple make that's a good point. No, that's a good point, right? And keep in mind that this as well. So Apple came out with this focus mode. I can and it's to allow you to turn off distractions on your devices so that you can be focused in the moment doing whatever you're doing. So I've got my phone right now in a mode called I'm live, and I'm not getting any notifications or anything of that. I can guarantee you that the folks that own and run Calm, Headspace, any of those meditation and relaxation apps are nervous right now, because now you don't have to pay for the subscription to all of those other platforms just to again get into the right mindfulness state, right? Because it's now integrated into the phone. I don't have to pay the $9.99 a month fee that Calm or Headspace and some of those apps have. This capability that we were talking about of being able to share music across platform and with folks within a FaceTime link, you can also do that with video. So if you got an Apple TV and have a watch party, there are a ton of apps out there that you have to pay for that actually allow that type of capability and that functionality. Them folks are probably just a little nervous now because, right, when the 800-pound gorilla Apple comes out and says, you can do that now within the app, you just go out there and buy this new phone, upgrade the OS. Somebody's going to get bought. Somebody's going out of business. Somebody's going to get integrated into another organization. But those are the kinds of things. So those are the cons of a WWDC, because right, just like you say, and I will admit it, yes, Apple will go out there and find out what has been done by other organizations and just make it just dumb simple. Just push of a button, swipe to the left, boom, it works. Look, Android has had 8K 60 frames per second video for years. There is no way Apple is going to do that. I don't think they ever will do that. Just because it requires such a large processor, requires such a large lens. It requires a lot more componentry to make something like that happen. Samsung had to put 5 lenses on the back of the camera. Apple's not 5 lenses on the back of the camera. Apple's not going to do that, right? Because it's functional what Samsung has done, but it's not aesthetic. It doesn't look good, right? But it does it does some cool stuff. If I could shoot 8K 60 frames per second on my iPhone, bruh, I do it. But Apple's already trying to minimize the notch here. They stepped outside of themselves and put 3 lenses on here. They're not going to put 4 or 5 lenses on the phone because it don't look good, even though it does some cool stuff. So I admit,
your second
they copy, but they
your
do it.
second device that I or your second release that I thought was pretty cool, that you talked about, was you can have I think you said you can copy and paste something and then put it onto your desktop.
Yeah, universal control. Yeah.
So can you explain that just a little bit one more time? So basically, I'm
Yeah.
on my phone, and then I see something, and then I can just drag and drop it. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, so think about again I call it the next evolution of OLE, object linking and embedding. What Microsoft brought to us in Office when we could have a Word document and move components of that Word document into an Excel spreadsheet, that kind of thing. But that was only application back and forth movement of content. Now you can actually move content between devices. So I have one keyboard, I have one mouse. If I'm working on a document on my desktop, I can actually grab that document, move it across the screen, and paste it onto my laptop, or I can paste it onto my tablet, or I can paste it onto my phone. You can move data across those multiple devices, and you can also control those multiple devices again with one keyboard and one mouse. So you just kind of move the mouse to the edge of the screen. It kind of acknowledges that it's at the edge of the screen, and you kind of bump it over, and it moves to the next device.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's a good party trick. It's a good party
yeah,
trick. Yeah.
right. I mean, I don't think a lot of people will be using that, but the
I think they
business,
will. I don't
the
think a lot of people
business.
have all the devices. Yeah. So there you go. That's where I'm
I
at.
think the business sector would use that, but I don't think
Yeah.
that the average consumer would use that. I think that the average consumer would use the find my headphones because I can't find it. You know, like you
That's why I
said,
brought that one up. Yeah. That was a
right?
real deal there. Yeah.
I mean, we've had that issue happen a couple times here in this household, and I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure, like you said, you had that issue with
Hmm.
your son as well. So
That's the real deal. Yeah.
yeah, so I just think that these are some cool things that the WWDC is launching. It goes to Friday, is that correct?
Yeah.
The
Goes till Friday.
11th.
Yeah.
So, and this year, last year and this year, it was virtual and it was free. But how much does it normally cost to be able to attend, or do you have to be a member of a certain group to be able to attend?
You have to be part of the developers network, and every year that's a $99 fee to be part of the developers program. But WWDC has typically been about $1,500 to go to
To
that
attend.
conference.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, like you said, it's virtual, so you saved $3,000 last year and this
I
year.
did. I sure did. Let me tell you something. So keep in mind, right after WWDC, typically a few weeks later, is Google I/O. So Google's going to get on stage, and they're gonna be touting their stuff. So we're going to talk about that as well. And it's always going to be ours is still better than yours, or whatever the case may be. But it's healthy competition. And the fact that Google I/O is coming up real soon as well. So they're going to be talking about the next Pixel. They're going to be talking about the next release of Android OS. I don't know what that is, but they're going to be talking about all those cool things as well. So that it's a good time to be a consumer in the mobile technology world, because those companies are trying to one up each other all the time, and it's always one right after the other. And especially as it now gets towards holiday time, they want to get any new devices, any new software out into people's hands so they can spend that money.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Well, man, I'm glad you were able to get WWDC out of your system for the last 48 hours. Um, you talked about it on your show yesterday with your Apple brother.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Shouts out
and
to Jay Dunn. Yeah.
I actually listened to you for an hour and a half, believe it or not, just so I can be somewhat
Appreciate
a
you.
little bit more knowledgeable of what you are, what's going on. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
before we started doing this show, I didn't care anything about what Apple had going on, but I have to, like you said, it's friendly and healthy competition, and yeah, yeah. I
You'll be
mean,
all right. You'll be all
I
right.
have to understand what's going on over there in the Apple world. You never know. I mean, with LG being out of the game now, you never know. You might see me in a Apple phone because I just don't see Samsung doing anything that's really sexy or sleek. So I'm
We'll
not.
see.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know. But
Yeah.
just wanted to give you your shot, your props on attending the conference and allowing us to get a clearer understanding of what's been going on in the tech community from the Apple on the Apple side. So
Appreciate you for the platform and the time, brother. That's what we do.
no, this is what we do together. So it's all good. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything that you want to talk about? Did you get any new toys over the week?
Did I get anything? Let me see what I got. Not yet. No, I'm actually trying to still consult. I got some things coming. We'll talk about that next week. I'm looking at the camera. I got some things coming, but we'll talk about that for sure. I want to give a shout out to the encoder we're using here today. Shouts out
Yeah.
to Switchboard Live. So using Switchboard Live as opposed to Restream.io right now to send out this show to multiple platforms. Mr. Rudy Ellis, we've talked to him. I'm going to go ahead and put him on blast. Look, you have been invited to the show. We're just waiting for you to respond to the Calendly link, man. So we can get you on here and talk about how content creators can utilize your platform as an alternative to push out streams to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. What else you got? Yeah, LinkedIn and Twitch. So all the platforms, right?
And
So and it
RTMP.
works pretty nice.
Yeah.
Custom RTMP, right? So
So
yeah,
the
you can't
custom
beat that.
RTMP, I've been using this for about 5 or 6 weeks now. This Switchboard Live is pretty solid. We haven't had a break in streams,
Yeah.
no freezing or anything like that. Just using vMix by itself or trying to use Restream. The only bad thing is they don't allow you to bring in comments. They're just the encoder that basically allows you to have a more solid, stable stream. And I think at the end of the day, I prefer solid, stable before all the extra amenities. So
Yeah.
with the fiber, with the graphics card, with the memory, and having the expensive computer, you still need a solid stream. And like I said, Switchboard has definitely been solid for me, shall we say. And
Yeah.
Rudy, like he said, we extend the invitation out to you or one of your team members that would like to come on and tell us more about it, and we go from there.
I love it. So it sounds like you're not going to turn on Amazon Sidewalk. Just hit you so worried about you.
I don't have any. No, I don't have any.
That's
devices.
right. That's right. You don't. That's right. You don't have any smart assistants in your house
No, I
telling
don't
you what
believe.
to do.
No. We can have Bluetooth, but we're not having no Echoes, no Alexas, no Google, nothing like that. The only thing we're gonna have is whatever the Google Assistant that's on my phone. That's about it.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you.
So.
Not mad at you.
All right. Well, next week we got. Let me see if I can find that one more time. We got next week, June 16th. We have Mr. Hurricane Dave that will be on the show next week. I look forward to talking to him about drones, talking to him about tech, and he even has a podcast. So the Hurricane Dave podcast. So I'll be checking him out later on this week to see what he has cooking up on his show. So feel free to search on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook Hurricane Dave just to have an idea of who he is and what he's all about. And I'm pretty sure you'll be enlightened, and I'm pretty sure he'll give us a nice point of view. So with that being said, don't forget, we did do some things while we were off for the week, which was pretty cool. We did create our own Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook account for the Lab Tech Show. So please, if you get a chance, follow us on the Lab Tech Show, all one word, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All right, that would definitely be appreciated. We just felt like as we are growing this show and we're taking this a little bit more seriously, we wanted to just make everything more uniform. It didn't make sense in you following me and you following all James people is following James and all my people are following me. Just follow the show, because at the end of the day, we both love tech, and we want to build this platform to where we'll eventually have merch, and we want people to what does it say? Is more than a hashtag? Is that what you said?
That's it. More action, less hashtag.
Oh, more action and less hashtag. So we giving you more action. So just follow. That's it. Anything else?
That's it, brother. I'm good. Y'all be good to yourself. We appreciate you for the support as well.
That's what's up. We out.